Hey guys, happy Saturday. Y'all, this is the third time I've tried this video and it keeps cutting off. Clearly, the devil does not want this to be shared. This is a little different than my normal videos. If you're watching the replay, you're just going to want to go ahead and fast forward to like the first 30 seconds. I'm going to wait for a couple people to hop on. And as you're hopping on, either drop down if you're watching live or drop down and let me know if you're watching the replay. This is a little bit more serious than some of the videos that I share. However, hi Phyllis, I think it's something that every single person on social media, with kids, with or without kids, like it's just imperative that everybody hears this. So I'm going to share this to a couple groups of mine. Like I said, when you hop on, drop on down. Hi, Annie. Annie. Sorry, I can't see that far. Annie. Hi, Lila Rose. Okay, let's get going. So I asked yesterday in my stories, how many of y'all have heard, drop me a 1 if you've heard of the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. Okay, it's new-ish, I think. I don't actually know when it came out, but it's kind of a buzzword right now. So I've heard of it. I work from social media, so I'm always looking just to set up and make sure that I am keeping myself safe and that I'm not wasting time. It's just one of those things where social media is a tool. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil, but you do have to be smart about how you're using it. So drop me a 1 if you've heard of it. Now drop me a 2 if you've actually watched it. So I had heard a few creators hop on and talk about the social dilemma. I honestly thought it was going to be, I was going to watch it and it was going to give me some tips to keep my family safe and to not waste as much time. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but I'm always up for a good documentary if it is educational. So I went ahead and I watched it. Y'all, when like the title says, I was sad, I was mad, I was angry, I was shocked. There were points in it that made me cry. There were points in it that made me so mad I was shaking. And you're going to see some of that come out in this video probably. But I just want to tell you 2 things that I absolutely hated about it. Like, wanted to throw my iPad across the room. And one thing that I honestly loved. And then, because it did not give me any tips, all it did was kind of shed all the bad things about social media. And I'm going to go into a little bit more. What it did do, however, is it made me want to put out a video and just share 6 ways with you guys that my family uses social media, or we use social media for the good, but 6 ways that we make sure that it doesn't take over our lives, 6 ways that we make sure that we are not foregoing those human connections. So if you don't care at all about the documentary, you can fast forward about 5 minutes in. But I urge you, I honestly think that this is something that's worth sharing about the documentary as well. So the first thing that I hated about this is it took all responsibility and all accountability off of us and put it on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. Basically made us as Americans, well, the country in general, but it focused a lot more on Americans, as mindless drones that were completely idiotic and had 0 discipline, could not control how much time they spent on social media. Now, I'm not going to tell you if that's right or wrong, because I think I know some people that fit into that category, but not a lot of them. I think for the most of us, though, that have social media, we do exercise disciplines with it. Like, we're not on social media 10 and 15 hours a day, like what the documentary liked to portray. So that's the first thing I really hated about it, is it took all accountability off of us and put all the blame. It was very much a blame shifter. It wasn't, oh, well, maybe we should work on our character and our discipline, and maybe we should set up safeguards. No, it was social media is bad because they're manipulating you. The second thing, speaking of manipulation, it was very manipulative. It had a huge, huge agenda behind the documentary. Now, I'm not saying don't go watch it. I'm encouraging everyone to go watch it. Tell me what you think about it. So it talked about all of the false information out there and how Facebook manipulates people to think a certain way. Do you know what all the false information was that the documentary pointed out? Information about vaccines, sex trafficking, COVID-19. It even talked about how the 2016 election, it hinted, enough to where I think they did it as much as they could legally, that we may not have the president we had if people weren't stupid enough to believe what they read on Facebook. I don't buy that for a minute. It was very left. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Let me know what you thought about it. But the documentary in itself was very left. A lot of the stuff that I know is true was talked on there about being false information. So it very much was, the documentary itself was very manipulative in trying to get you to think what they wanted you to think. Now, it showed the extremes. It didn't, it showed, for example, for sex trafficking, it talked about Pizzagate. I don't know what your thoughts are on Pizzagate. That's not what this video is about. You can share your thoughts, but I'm not going to talk too much into it. But the extreme that it showed was a man bombing a pizza place because of something he read on social media. That's an extreme. Okay, that does not mean... Now again, your thoughts on Pizzagate, regardless what side you lean to, not what we're talking about. But I think we can all agree, sex trafficking in general is a huge, huge, huge problem in our country. And instead of shedding light on that, it kind of poked fun at social media blew it up to be a bigger thing than it actually was. No, sex trafficking is a huge thing. Now, should you go bomb pizza parlors? Probably not. Okay? Let everyone show for the record. I'm not telling anyone to go bomb Pizza Hut. Hold on, we'll talk in a minute. Y'all, if you don't know, I've got a 6-year-old and I'm very real with her. We have honest conversations. So, all that to say. So those are the two things that I hated about the documentary. It was very manipulative. It talked about, it's funny because it talked about how manipulative social media was, but then it turned around and it was manipulative itself, trying to tell us what we should think and why we should think certain things. And then it just took all the responsibility off us as humans and kind of put it on you're the victim. No, we're not the victim. Okay? It's huge in the world. Yeah, it is huge in the world. I don't mean to belittle the fact that it's not big in other countries, but again, the documentary was very much focused on this country. It talked a little bit about other countries, but this was the big one. The third thing that I loved about the documentary, okay, so 2 things I hated, 1 thing I loved. You know what it did shed light on? It didn't mean to shed light on this. I know it didn't. It shed light on the very poor parenting practices we have in our country. Okay, so the whole documentary follows this family. Now, it's an actor, the family's acting. I'm 99.9% sure this isn't real. It's an acting thing. Sounds like... And it was a little bit of drama in there, yes. I wouldn't say it was all drama, but it was some drama. So it follows this family through their day-to-day and how social media basically, hurts them as a family. Do you know the 2 people in that family that's following? It's not the mom and the dad. It's not showing all the trouble they're getting into. It's an 11-year-old child and a high school boy. And it's showing, at the very end, the high school boy gets arrested for something that he does because of stuff that he read on social media. Hello, why are your high schoolers having social media? Dumb. The 11-year-old girl, one of the scenes, they sit down at the dinner table, and the mom has this, as seen on TV, cookie jar. You put the lid on, you set a timer, and you can't open it. There's no code or anything. It's in there till that timer unlocks the lid. So the mom puts all the phones in there, sits it on the kitchen counter, only sets a timer for 1 hour, and says, we're basically going to have dinner without our phones. We're going to talk. The little girl gets up, basically has a fit, takes a sledgehammer and smashes the cookie jar thing open, and then runs upstairs with her phone. Okay, there's some poor parenting going on. There's so much more behind that than, oh, my kid had social media and it made her do that. No. Okay, so, again, I have friends in real life that their kids have TikTok and Glorian. No. Have TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. You know what? I'm friends with you in real life. You know I am so kind to you. Like, I don't sit when your kid comes over and like, oh, you're stupid. Why you let her do that? Now, we have a rule in my house when kids spend the night, your phone gets checked up at the kitchen. You know, we basically set them on the microwave. You don't touch it till your mom picks you up. We don't, anyone who's underage in our house, you don't have a phone, period. You don't need to sit and text your friends all night. Now, not only not a phone, you don't get to use, you know, our television to just sit and watch TV for hours. You don't get to sit and watch YouTube videos. There are kids that won't spend the night at our house and like they're friends with our daughter or teenagers that we mentor. They don't spend time in our house because we won't let them have social media and we won't have them have access to screen times all the time. There are other kids that consistently spend the night, and after the first couple times, without fail, this is what I hear. Oh, wow, I didn't know how much fun I could have without my phone. You're 9. You should be doing so many things without your phone. You're 9. So, none of my kids have social media. Good. Your kids shouldn't have social media. I'm going to show you something, though. Hey, Gloria, come here, kiddo. Hi. I'm just going to show y'all something.
Hello.
Y'all, look at that eyeshadow. We have fun naked at home. She does not go to the house like this. I didn't know she had this on when I called her, but that's what she's doing with makeup. Look how pretty you look. She's going to practice so when she's a teenager, she don't look like this. Tell them, do you know what TikTok is? Hey, yes, you do. TikTok.
TikTok videos.
TikTok videos. Do you know what Facebook is?
Something that's not TikTok videos.
Honey, I'm not asking you to tell me what it is. Just tell them yes or no. Do you know what TikTok is? Yes. Have you seen TikTok? Yes. Do you know what Instagram is? Kind of, probably. Tell them, do you want a TikTok? Do you have a TikTok? All right, go play. Love you. Y'all, my kid doesn't have social media, not because she doesn't want social media. So many of her little 7 and 8-year-old friends have TikToks. She wants a TikTok. She doesn't have social media, not because she doesn't want it, but because I'm the parent and she's the child. I make the rules, not her. Okay? So when it comes to social media and your children, if they go to school, they go to church, if they have any friends at all outside of your house, they're probably going to know what social media is. They're going to be asking for social media. It doesn't make your job easy, but you know what? You have to decide, am I the parent or does my child make the rules? Now, if your kid already has a social media, it's way harder for you to take that away from them than for someone like me just to not give it to her in the first place. So I'm not belittling that. Your job is harder than mine because you've already made that mistake as a parent. Now, you can get mad at me, you can come at me, that's okay. Giving your kid a social media is a mistake, period, okay? It's not up for discussion, it's just not smart. But taking away from them is going to be way harder than someone who hasn't given it to them in the first place. So, let me just make sure I touched on all of that. Yeah, so it literally very much exposes poor parenting. It exposes neglect on the part of the parents. Like, there's so many parts in that documentary where I'm like, why? Okay, for example, the boy that gets arrested at the end. His mom made a deal with him. If you can be without your phone for 7 days, I'll buy you a new screen. Because when the little girl smashed the stupid cookie jar, she smashed the boy's screen as well. Like, through the thing. He lasts for 3 days before he picks his phone back up. And then it shows him getting arrested a few days later. Guess how many times that mom went and checked on him during that 4-day period that he's still not supposed to have his phone. Now, his phone is plugged in the kitchen. No. His phone is plugged in the kitchen, so I'm not sure how mom didn't realize, oh, look, the phone's gone. Or, hey, my kid's skipping practice because he's sitting on social media worried about this ex-girlfriend that has a new boyfriend. Where are the parents? Where are the teachers? Where's the accountability as a mom? What the heck is your child doing? Okay? All I'm going to say about that. But again, 2 things I hate, 1 thing I love about the documentary. Go watch it. Form your own opinion. You know, you don't need to take mine as law. But I do want to share 6 things that we as a family practice consistently that will save our family from being the stereotype of what American families are becoming because of social media. And I will tell you, y'all that follow me, you know this. I work on social media, which means I'm on social media several hours a day working. Now, some of these, I'm going to tell you how I apply them to myself. Some of these are going to be for kids, for when they are old enough to have social media. And again, not just social media, screen time. You kind of, you know, every family's going to be slightly different in some of these. But this is, again, where I have to tell you, social media is not a bad thing. Social media is a tool. How you use it is good, or how you use it is bad. Now, for me, I wouldn't have the freedom of being a stay-at-home mom. I wasn't a stay-at-home mom in the beginning. Like, social media made that possible for me. We wouldn't have the house that we live in. We were in a pretty crappy apartment before I was able to get this business off the ground and, you know, make some money with it. We wouldn't have 2 cars that we have. I wouldn't be getting my hair and my pedicures and stuff done. And those are all superficial. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to have any of that stuff. But we do like nice things, and social media made that possible for us. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're like, I want to make money from social media, reach out. All I'll do is send you a little video. You can watch it, decide for yourself if you have what it takes to do this. Because it does take motivation. It takes you being a hard worker, basically. That's what it takes. So if you're a hard worker and you're coachable, you can use social media to your advantage. But I'm going to tell you, the average family, 6 things that you can do to not let it take over your life. So first, family meals with no phones. That includes the parents. Put your phones away, have family meals together. Now, do you have to do it every single day, every single meal? No, it's probably not going to be possible for your family. It's not possible for my family. But at least 4 meals a week, we sit down and have a family meal. We go around the table, we all say one thing we're thankful for, and then we pray as a family, and then we eat. Very, very simple. No phones, no electronics. It just helps us keep that connection as a family. Number 2, y'all, we've already said this. Don't give kids phones. Don't give them social medias. Don't give them TikToks. Don't give them laptops that they have, you know, access to 24/7. Now, I've been asked this question. Okay, this was a real question I got from somebody. And I won't say her name because she didn't give me permission to share. She said, I am basically a single mom of 4. I have joint custody with my ex-husband. He works a lot. So during the summer, the kids are older-ish. They're old enough to, like, be at home by themselves. And he doesn't have a phone at the house. So we give them cell phones in case something happens. I don't think that's a bad idea. But just because your kid has a phone doesn't mean you need to have it 24/7.
Are you talking
Glorian. So my daughter will probably, don't hold me to this, probably end up getting a phone by the time she's 12 or 13 because she will be doing youth activities and that kind of stuff. She won't have access to it while she's at home. She doesn't need it. The phone will be specifically to contact me and her dad if something happens, or to check in with us if she needs to stay out later or needs a ride or whatever. I'm not against technology. I'm saying be smart about technology. So, perfect world, your kid doesn't have phones. If your kid needs a phone, it doesn't need to have internet on it. Get them a cute little flip phone where they can call and text you, and that's it. They don't need to take it to school with them if they go to school. They don't need to carry it around in their purse at church. They don't need to have it at the dinner table just because they want to text their friends. It literally would be for specific reasons. Now, again, this is what I do for Gloria. A lot of her friends have phones, and you say, man, your kid's a baby. She is. She's a first grader. But a lot of her friends have phones. Riddle me this, Batman, right? Parents can get flip phones where it has no internet. Yep, exactly. So instead, I show my daughter how much fun we can have without her being on a phone. We have tons and tons of crafts. You know, she has friends that have phones that beg to come to our house because we have craft stations set up. Kids like to have that human interaction, but if their parents don't give it to them, they'll go turn to the internet instead. Books, puzzles, board games. We are constantly buying new and playing new board games. Going outside. Y'all, when I was a kid, we spent so much time outside, and now kids today, they never go outside. Mine does, but again, most of them don't. Riding bikes, that's something we're going to get. As soon as she's better at riding, we're going to get bikes and ride as a family. That's insane at first grade. Yeah, trust me, I think it's insane too. Number 3, this is for adults, but also for kids. If you've got older teenagers that have phones. I know some parents let their kids get a phone at 16, and again, I'm not 100% opposed to that. You just gotta have a guideline set up. But parents and adults, neither one, you shouldn't have a phone in your bed. When you go to bed at night, Leave your phone in the kitchen. Oh, but I can't wake up without my alarm. There were things called alarm clocks that were invented before phones ever came out. Go buy one at Walmart for $10. You don't need your phone. I've worked with so many teenagers that are so groggy through school because they stay up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning surfing on social media, texting their friends, watching stupid YouTube videos because mom and dad send them to their room at a certain time for bed, but they don't take their phone away. Don't have your phones in bed. Now, adults are the same way. I have done this multiple times. Now, this is especially if y'all work on social media, you need to get your butt up in the morning and work. Laying in bed at night, scrolling for 3 hours, watching everyone's stupid videos on TikTok, that is not working. That's not going to make you any money.
Do it.
Yes, honey, I'm saying we've done it. No, do me a favor. Go play. Number 4 is in-person events. Get connected with people. I don't care if that's going to church 3 times a week. Get connected. Get your kids connected. We do mommy and me play dates all the time. We go out to lunch with people. I'm going shopping with a friend this coming Thursday. The Wednesday after that, I have a friend coming over and we are going to play board games and just do crafts with our kids. The Saturday after that, we have a Halloween party we're hosting at my house. Now, notice I said 2 out of those 3 things are at my house. Sometimes you have to be the initiator to get people to come over. You might have to put the work in. That's okay. Get connected to people and stay connected and have those real relationships so you don't crave the online ones so much. Number 5, limit screen time. Means set a timer. Again, that's social media, that's YouTube, that's watching TV, whatever. Set a timer. Now, there's 2 parts to this. I'm going to talk first to the person who you are making money on your Facebook, your Instagram, all of that stuff goes directly funneling money into your bank account. This is me, okay? I spend way more time on social media than the average person because it is my job. But when I'm at work, meaning at my house, but when I'm on Facebook and I'm working, I am doing certain tasks only. I'm not creeping an ex-boyfriend's page. Not that any of y'all would ever do that, right? No, none of us like to see drama. I'm not creeping my best friend from high school. I'm not creeping my sister. I am not doing anything except a certain list of tasks that my entire team has, so we are all on the same page. We are working and we are making money. We are not wasting time. Now, on the flip side, I like to scroll. Now, Facebook isn't really what I do. I love to scroll on Instagram. I love to see the fashion things. By the way, this shirt says Wife, Mom, Boss. I'll link it down in the comments. It's from Number 6 Designs. Love them. Okay, I love to go look at cool t-shirts and cool jewelry little boutiques. So if I want to give myself an hour of scroll time, I can. We all can. Again, social media has some pretty cool things on it. I consider Pinterest social media. I don't know if it technically is, but it's definitely a time waster if you let it be. I waste a lot of time on Pinterest. I love decorating for like parties and stuff. So I'll set my time for an hour and I'll go scroll on social media, whatever platform I want, several platforms, the internet, YouTube, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Just set timers so you actually know how much you're on. Same with kids. This is what my daughter does. This is what we do for screen time for her. She's allowed 1 hour a day if she gets all of her schoolwork done. Honey, go to your room and don't come out so I can get you, okay? Sometimes she likes to talk a little bit too much on these, and she likes to interrupt. We don't do that, and she knows better. Again, I'm the parent, which means if I'm on this video and I say, hey, go to your room for a little bit, she's gonna go. She's not gonna sit and throw a fit because I'm the parent. I've taught her that from the time she was literally, the first time we really noticed that she was as stubborn as her mom. You know, who would have thunk it? She was, I want to say she was like 3 months maybe. We were sitting, this is a total off subject, but it's funny. We were at the grocery store, sitting in line. You know how like Walmart has 25 billion lines with like 3 of them are open with 3 people that are working? We were sitting in line forever. She reached back and grabbed the bread bag. We took it away from her, put it back, and we said, don't touch. She grinned at us and reached right back and grabbed that bread bag. I was like, she's so my kid. What am I going to do with this? You know, when you got a really stubborn kid, they have those telltale signs, and in the beginning, that was hers. She would test us. We would tell her no. she would grin and do the exact thing we told her not to do just to see if we would actually follow through. Now, we did. Y'all know my kid now. She is one of the most respectful kids you'll ever meet, and she obeys very, very well. But trust me, it could have gone the exact opposite. It was, I laugh now. I wasn't laughing then. I was thinking, my mom always said, like, I hope you get a kid just like you. What am I going to do with this kid? Like, how am I ever going to make it a productive adult? It was scary. So anyways, all that to say, limit the screen time, set a timer. Don't know how we got on bread bags, but whatever. For her, she gets 1 hour of TV time a night because she likes to sit and watch TV and movies. And there's nothing wrong with it. And again, whole nother subject would be what kind of movies and stuff you let your kids watch, but we're not talking about that today. So what we do is if she gets all her school done, she gets to watch an hour of TV time. And we have that hour strategically placed during a time that I do a Zoom with my team each day. Because then I don't have to worry about her running around, and she still comes and says hi and that kind of stuff. But you get to use that to your advantage if you want to. Now, if you're like, I would never let my kid be on screen for an hour a day. Good for you. And we used to be like that. But we found out there are lots of things that she likes to watch that are educational, but it's just one of those things that we're going to control when she watches it and kind of help her navigate through, okay, good shows, bad shows, too much TV, not TV. Now, if I let her watch TV all day long, she would do it. I'm not saying again, this isn't because she doesn't like television. She would sit and watch from sun up to sundown. First thing she asked every morning, Mom, if I clean, can I watch TV? And you know what I'm tempted to say? Yes, because I'm usually busy working. It's like 5:30. But I have to say no because, again, I have to be the parent and not go let the TV babysit her because I'm busy. So, just throwing it out there. For adults, though, maybe you reward yourself with a show. I know for me, I love crime drama. Like, I love it. Drop your favorite show in the comments. I'm actually looking for new shows to watch, so drop your favorite show. Why can't I think of it? SVU, Law and Order SVU. That's one that I love to watch. You know what I do? I'll tell myself, if I get everything done for work that I need to get done by a certain time, I'll let myself go watch an episode of SVU. There's nothing wrong with TV. Like I said, I think there's good things that you can watch, and at the very least, it's a way that you relax. But it can take over your life and cause you to be very unproductive if you let it. And the last thing is, this is a huge, huge, huge one. I put this last for a reason. Turn off your notifications. So, on your phone, oh, look, my little munchkin. You can't see her that well, but she's a cutie. That was when she was, I think that was Easter, like 2 or 3 years ago. So, your Messenger, your Instagram, actually, I don't know about Instagram, but your Messenger and your Facebook. Did you know anytime someone tags you or anytime somebody messages you, it comes straight to your phone screen, to your notifications. Did you know you can turn those off? I've had those off for 3.5 years, I think, 4 years maybe. I don't get Facebook notifications unless I open Facebook and I click the notification button. And there's a lot of them, because again, y'all, I work on social media. I get upwards of 200 and 300 notifications a day. Nothing's important enough for my phone to be sitting here buzzing because someone wants to talk to me or someone tagged me or someone commented at me or whatever. Same with messages. I would absolutely encourage you, turn the notifications off. Now, the only way to do that is you have to uninstall Facebook, reinstall it, and it'll ask you if they can send you push notifications. Click no. You're like, I've never seen that. Yeah, because you don't read. You just click yes, 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 yes to get to the screen. You got to read what you're clicking. Same with messages. Uninstall Messenger, reinstall it. You won't get any notifications at all to your phone. So, few tips. Guys, I hope this helps. Thank you all so much for hopping on. Like I said, a little bit more serious than I normally talk about. But if you're just hopping on, go rewatch. I share 3 things about the social dilemma that were kind of aha moments to me and stuck out, some good, some bad. And then I share 6 ways that you can protect your family from social media and the internet in general. So, bye guys.